Hi, Alex Forte here, The Art of Simple Golf. Today we're doing something a little bit different, but it's the start of a few more that I'm going to do. Basically, I'm sharing some swing reviews that I've done. The idea is that it's going to help you, because you don't really care what's happening to someone else's swing. But here's the thing, there are commonalities of like challenges, issues, and the chances are you will see a lot of elements in these example golf swings to what you do yourself, whether you've seen it on video or not. Whether it's just simply ball position, whether it's sliding away from the ball, trying to force it too much. These are the things that we're covering in today's lesson. We go over the irons and the driver from the front view and the side view as well. So it's basically going to give you the main components that you need to start looking at in your own swing. And you know what? Have any questions, just leave them below. But basically, let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to go into the videos that you see that we captured all the lines and stuff like that. But what I'm going to briefly cover what I want you to look out for. One is the ball position. Just having it too far back is going to make life a bit too hard. Generally, most of you have it too far forward. So we need to sort of think about that a little bit, all right? But having it too far back is dangerous, because what it's doing, it's encouraging the move off the ball, which a lot of you will do, trying to either gather momentum, trying to gather more speed, when really all we need to do is turn and rotate away. So that the swing, the ball position, just have it over the sternum. Pretty much with every club in the bag, just have it over the sternum. Just draw a line down and check where you are. That's a good, safe sort of baseline. The next thing I want you to notice is just how much you and the example golfer here moves away from the ball, trying to kind of get extra effort. Whether it's more speed, whether it's more sort of oomph into the ball, just trying a bit too hard. So all we need to do is basically turn behind ourselves a little bit more, feeling like the leg is straightening somewhat, and allow yourself to turn behind. That's going to give you the feeling that you want. Now down the line, he does quite a lot well, but it's that moving away from the ball that is causing difficulties, and I wager the same applies for you. Okay, so enough of me waffling now. You're going to hear me waffle enough during the lesson, but look out for those points and notice whether you are turning behind it or not. And there's very simple drills that we're going to get into another time to stop you from swaying, to stop you moving away from the ball, to stop you trying to force it too hard this way to get that power. Less is more. It really is when it comes to a simple golf swing. All right, so enjoy this. Any questions, leave them below, and let's get into it. Hi Greg, it's Alex Forte here. So had a look at a few of your swings that you sent through, and obviously the notes of sort of which way they're going. Seems to be, cutting it right is a tendency, and even without your explanation, I would have been able to ascertain that. But, first of all, let's just kind of rewind a bit of what you got going on here. So a couple of points to note. Hold on, let's just get a line here that we can see. For a start, you've got the club just way too far forward, like the forward press is just too pronounced, and that ball position is just a little bit too, hold on, let me find this. So the ball position, I know we're looking at, what was it? It was like a pitching wedge or something perhaps, or maybe that's a 7-iron. I can't quite tell because you've de-lofted it so much. But that ball position really, it should be somewhere more about here. So it should be a little bit more, I don't know, about there. So first up, let's rewind it a bit. First up, see how your hips, your feet are substantially wider than your hips. With a shorter club, we don't need that. That's giving you a bit of restriction, because what happens when you come through and make your swing, what's causing you is to sway off the ball for a start. We're going to get into something else for a moment, but that sort of sway where your hip is moving a bit too much here, you see how much you've sort of started from and how much you sort of moved over to this position now. So we've kind of moved this far over. So what has to go back has to come forward, and we have to try and time that substantially. And you kind of do a pretty good job about recentering back to your original lines here. But there's just a lot of unnecessary movement, and what happens is you're kind of getting a bit stuck. And we'll get into the next element in a moment. So what I want you to do is, in essence, I don't know if I can we clear all these in a moment? Yeah, let's just clear these. There we go. So what I want you to do is, at address position, you can keep the hands where they are, which is fine, right? You can keep those hands there, but we want the ball position really to be just about here, somewhere like that. Okay, so, and we want the feet moving in a little bit closer. So what you're going to do is move both feet in a couple of inches, so your stance is a little bit narrower. I like the way your feet are turned out, because that's going to help your hips rotate. But yeah, let's stand a little bit narrower and move that ball forward somewhat, because what that is going to do is, as we swing through, it's going to make this a little bit easier. See how your actual backswing here, the top of the body movement is really good. I like that. This isn't actually, you got some good things going on here. It's just the lower body is getting a wee bit overactive, okay? But what's happening? There's a bit too much tension, okay? Just by your setup, there's too much tension in the arms, too much forward press, too much initiation to be hitting down at the ball. See, that action is all about down at the ball. I want you to feel like everything is going through a lot more, because you're getting a bit stuck, and that's sort of forced position here. All right, so what we'll see is we're kind of losing, you've definitely heard of lag and all that kind of stuff. You'd definitely be losing it about here. You're almost dumping the club in this position, and then you get stuck and sort of have to heave it through. What we want at this position is actually, hold on, let's just move that. What we want is, at this position, we really want, hold on, we want the club to sort of be about here. We want a lot more of an angle between the arms and the club. It's like you've got more of just a straight line there. We want definitely more angle. So you're going to feel a lot more supple in the wrists here, okay? A lot more supple in the wrists. So you really want to feel the weight of the club, because we want this angle, instead of it being, yeah, we want it being like up here. So sorry, there's the arm line. That makes a bit more sense, okay? You've kind of got it straight, whereas we want the arms being a lot more kind of here, okay? We want that club shaft to be in that angle, that way. Let's see if I can show you. Let me just move that out of the way. Stupid. There we go. Okay, so let's show you on a different one. All right, that's video number 1, but really you do have some good things going on. So in summary, from this angle, I want you to stand a bit narrower, move the ball position forward, and I want you to feel more suppleness in your wrists, okay? Okay, we can see that we're getting a bit of speed here, but nowhere near, like for the effort that you're putting into it, nowhere near the results that we should be after, especially for the effort, okay? And it's starting with the fact you're just generating too much backspin on the ball because you're hitting at it, you're hitting at the ball and you're trying to sort of lift it up. But what's happening is, because everything is, okay, I'm just doing a quick one here, hit here, and then everything's kind of getting stuck. There isn't momentum. There isn't momentum generating through.
Tips.
It's all it's more at and down, and then what happens is you try and save it. Let's move forward. Wait, You try and save it a little bit by heaving the body through, but you can only do that so much, and that's when the arms start wrapping around and you're cutting across it. And we'll see that in the other angle, but there's a lot of force here when really we should be, just like I mentioned with the iron, letting the club do more of the work for you, okay? So first off, address position. I don't mind the legs here with the driver, but we do want the ball position to move about there. Again, about 3 more inches. Really, you want to feel like you're on the heel. And what that's going to do, already you're going to have a little bit more spine tilt this way, because right now you're okay. Well, that's a bit generous actually. You're a bit more there, and your hips are there. So what that's doing is, as you're coming through, you're having to sort of really come up on the ball, and we want that to happen to a degree, but you know, to time that movement to go from here all the way back. See how you're trying to give yourself time by moving away, and then you're lifting up all the way back here where the club is. That's where everything's coming up, right? So let's make this a little bit easier. At address, I want you to feel like you've got a bit more angle on the side here. So it's a little bit more like that, like a reverse K, with that ball being more forward as well. That's going to really help us get behind it. So then all we need to do is sort of rotate, sort of just turn behind. You won't have to move off the ball anywhere near as much. And just like the irons, just allow the weight of the club to swing through. And the best way to feel it is just take the club with your right hand and skip a stone. The same sensation, that whipping action, as if it's not that the club head hitting first, it's actually the elbow, the right elbow underneath is leading it. That's the best thing, because here, that's pretty good, but we want more angle this way. We want more, instead of being here, we want more angle there. And then dragging it through lower, not rushing, and then accelerating by the time we get to sort of here. So your fastest point has to feel, with all these, has to feel more here. At the moment, it's here. Okay, so just with the right hand and even turn the club upside down, so you're holding it there, you know, on the shaft by the head. Just with the right hand, just swing through, doing a golf swing, but feel and hear the whoosh. That's what you're listening for. You're listening for the sound of acceleration and the subtle natural lag that you can get. So that's the kind of mechanics, but get that set up right. Move the ball forward. Move the ball forward. When you set up at address, just put your right hand along your thigh. Okay, so still hold the club with your left, but the shaft is now going to be like there. Well, hopefully it's going to be more there, right? It's going to be more there. So the hands are a little bit further back, but just holding the left hand, place your right hand on your thigh and just slide down. So you'll suddenly feel like your angle is going to feel like you're like that, but you won't be. But already that's going to allow a swing that is just hitting everything more, well, not quite that much on the upswing, but more sort of that way and through, as opposed to down this way, okay? And casting that way as well, because we want the feeling of swooshing like that. Okay, I wish there was a swoosh action on here, but there isn't. But in summary, ball position forward, tilt the shoulders, okay, and tilt the shoulders down, like lower the right side. Add the head tilt as well, just the same with the irons. But as you're swinging through, really do that drill with the club upside down and just hear the whoosh and allow the club to do way more of the work for you. And that's going to help you not hit the club with your body as much, okay? It's going to have you hit it with just the weight of the club, the arms, and a lot more gravity being in your favor, all right? Top of the backswing here. I actually quite like that. But all I want you to do at address, well, actually, see, I'll move the screen. Okay, you've just got a little bit too much sort of, there we go. Got a little bit too much spine angle here. Okay, a little bit too sort of bent over. What I want you to feel is just standing a little bit taller. I know it might feel a bit strange, but I want you to feel like you're just standing that much taller and your pelvis is in. What that's going to do is just help you turn a bit easier as opposed to sliding, which we talked about in the other videos. But yeah, just stand up a little bit taller and do exactly what I said in those other videos. But from here, we're looking pretty good. It's just right now we're dumping it short, getting stuck, and that's why you're having to force across it, okay? So see how it feels staying a little bit taller, and do those other things in the other video. Hi, I'm Alex Forte, and I want to introduce you to the Art of Simple Golf Club. This was born out of the overcomplication that plagues the golf industry, that kills your golf game. So what we have done is recreate a real golf club that you play wherever you are in the world online. So we have the clubhouse, we have the 19th hole, we have the putting green, the short game area, the driving range, the lesson tee, and we have the golf course where it matters the most to really help you play your ideal golf game every time you tee it up. We have new courses added every single month to help you go from A to B all the way through to Z. These series are designed to help you play your very best golf without overloading you with information, with just 1 or 2 bite-sized tips that you can go and apply right now. I will see you on the other side.